Well, a very good evening to you, boys and girls. It's very, very late night, early morning on Wednesday, the 3rd of April 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. And actually, for a long time, I've wanted to do a sort of a late night show here from the caravan to see how it all goes. We did try a show this morning. Unfortunately, there was a few technical issues this morning, and the next few days I've got a bit of a rush around here. Tomorrow morning I don't think I'm going to be able to do one tomorrow morning either, because I've got the men coming to do. I'm coming to you from a caravan today in Lincolnshire. I'm so happy to be back up here. I really am. Nice and peaceful and quiet. And tomorrow I've got a couple of blokes coming around to do some insulation underneath the caravan, because it does, the floor gets, when it's really cold, it's not so cold now, we've come through the winter pretty unscathed, to be honest. I think, you know, I've spoken to a few people. I think we haven't really had another winter, have we? Pretty unscathed, not particularly cold at all. Okay, a couple of days here and a couple of days there, but it's not exactly bad, is it? You know what I mean? So quite nice indeed. And they're coming tomorrow to do some insulation underneath the caravan at about 9:45, which is going to ring me before he gets here, and I want to keep the phone free. And as you know, coming to you here, I'm tethering for a mobile phone to do this show, so that won't really be able to, unless I get up really early tomorrow, which I don't have to do because I'm now here tonight. We did try and do a show, as I say, this morning. There was a couple of technical issues because obviously I haven't had this gear plugged in for a couple of months, so I've sorted those out now, I think, and everything looks like it's working spick and span. Who's with us this morning? I've no idea who's going to be here or not. Now, I've tried to be clever. On this computer over here, I get my messages, and I thought it would be a great idea to make the messages smaller so they could all fit in on the screen. Great idea? Well, I can't see the damn things. They're so small. Hang on, let me try my settings. What's that say? There's settings, appearance. It might be on. Oh, there we go. Let's turn the scale up. 110% should be all right for me. Let's have a look there now. Oh, that's better. I can see them now. Also, I'm not on my normal little pin microphone. Okay, I've got a normal microphone in front of me there. I've left the little lavatoria microphone. Is it lavatoria? Lavatoria? Can't remember what it's called. The little microphone I've left at home, unfortunately. So I won't have that with me this week. So I'm just on a bog standard ordinary karaoke microphone, so I hope you can hear us all right. Mark is in with the first message over there on Facebook this morning. Good morning, Mark Cording. All right, hope you're well. You missed a good night Monday. We had a very good night of karaoke on Monday. I'll tell you all about it later. SCTV fan has made it to a late night show at last. I don't think we've ever done one at 1 o'clock in the morning, actually. I think this is probably the latest show I've ever done. I've done 10 o'clock at night. I've done 11 o'clock at night. I've never done 1 o'clock in the morning. So it'd be interesting to see who's up at this sort of time. And indeed, if there's any new people around as well, if you're joining us for the first time this morning, a very warm welcome along to you. You can type in a message. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, just type in a message in the normal place. If you're on Periscope, your message probably won't get to us. Okay, it's worth trying, but often the Periscope messages don't come through to the show, unfortunately. If all else fails, you can text your message to 07551 259 675. UK number, okay? That's for texts only. It's not a phone number. If you ring it, no one will answer. It's only for text. 07551 259 675 is the number there. Glenda has already texted in this morning. He says, yeah, an evening show. Welcome back to the caravan. And I'll tell you what, Glenda, you know what? We need to put a little caravan light on there. Look at that. Isn't that great? Thank you, Glenda. I love this little thing. Look, there we are. We've got our little late night caravan on there as well. Dear me. Hello to Mr. David Jackson. Good morning, David. Mike Pullman's there in Australia, so I'm a morning show this morning. Am I a bit late for breakfast, or are you your afternoon now? You're just coming into afternoon, I think, in Australia. Of course, our clocks have gone forward an hour now. Okay, so it's just coming up to 1:10 on a Wednesday morning here in the UK. Ross Patel, good morning. Are the neighbours next door as the sound travels so easily? I'm glad you're, because you're in your van. I hope they can't hear us next door. I'm on the other side of the caravan, so the way I'm speaking would go directly out into a field in front of me. Okay, behind me is a wall, and my bedroom is directly behind that room. So there is a room and two doors and a window in between me and the neighbours. So hopefully I won't disturb it. I'd be horrified if I disturbed someone. I really would be absolutely horrified if I disturbed someone. So there we are. Ross had a caravan at the weekend and got cosy. Saturday with a heating on. With a heating, yes. As you well know, Ross, you've probably been following the show. I've managed to sort the heating out now. It took me a while to get used to how to do it, and I've got a couple of gas fires. But tonight, just before I watched the show, I was watching tonight's Holby City, and I had the gas fire. My brother-in-law came round yesterday with my sister and turned the gas on, the water on for me, because I turned all that off for the 2 months that I wasn't there. So they came round, and he said the bottle felt a bit empty. So I said, oh, that's okay, you know, it runs out when it runs out. So of course I've been watching the telly tonight. The fire was full blast, and suddenly I heard like a strange noise, and the gas is gone. So the gas went at like 12:30 at night. The only time a gas bottle runs out is in the middle of the night, or when it's really cold, or when it's pouring down with rain, or a combination of all three. I guarantee you that is when your gas bottle will run out. But I'm not going to bother doing it tonight. I've got the backup. I say the backup. I've got the mobile gas fire thing in the living room as well, which is nice and cosy. But in this room, I've only got a small radiator in it, and it does perfectly all right. I'm quite warm in here. It's lovely because it's cold out tonight, isn't it? Eh? It's about 3 degrees out there when I first looked. They were all there singing, "When will I see you again? When will I see you again? La 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 la," which is quite nice, isn't it, eh? Ross, just sell up your house and move up there. You seem so much happier. I am very happy up here. I love it. I've missed coming up to this caravan so much you wouldn't believe. I'll tell you that now. I really have. Hello to Amber, who says trans women should have rights. What's that got to do with the show, Amber? What has that comment got to do with anything we've talked about so far? Do try and keep with the comments, dear, that the subjects we're doing. We're not doing that tonight. If you want to start spouting off all your stuff, do it somewhere. But please, just keep to what we're doing here, you know. Hello to Dino. Good morning, Dino Nelson. Nice to see you, sir. There's a very sexy picture of you on the Facebook, I have to say. Very, very sexy. Nice picture, Dino. Good morning. Nice to see you. Who's on the train just going home from work, are you? Hope it wasn't too hard for you today. You need to take it easy, Dino. Get someone to give you a little massage on the shoulders. I do like a massage myself, do you? Do you like a massage? Front or back? Front or back? 10:10. Oh, so we're in the morning in Queensland, Australia at the moment. Thank you very much. Hello to Tina Fink, who says it's 11:10 in New York City. New York, New York. Da 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 da. Bum bum bum. You must have just come out of your cold spell now if you're in New York. Oh, I went in February a few years ago for my 50th birthday, actually. So do you know that was 6 years ago now? My 50th birthday. Gosh. I was, I think I said this on the show the other day. I was sitting in the living room with my mate, and I said, do you realise if we're both sitting here in 4 years' time, I'll be 60? It's really scary how quickly time moves. And I tell you what, since I work much less nights, I used to work 7 nights a week, and I did it for years. Since I've cut down to 3 nights a week, I've got even less time. How does that work? I've even less time now than I used to have when I was working every night. It's the weirdest thing, I tell you. Weird. Let's have a look. Ross packed out. We have the same gas bottle at home for the last 10 years at our house. 2 barbecues a year and it's still only half full. Yeah, but that's how I get the heating. That's the gas fire, the gas cooker, and the water heater in the caravan. And if you've got the gas fire on for hours at a time, you know it's going to run out, isn't it? Hello to Wayne Martin, back in my northern television studio. Yes, we are. Back here, my friend. I always thought you and Dino would hook up. Hurry up, you two. Me and Dino who? Dino who? I don't know who you mean, Dino. Dino who? I don't know who you're talking about there. Let's have a look there. Tony! Hi from Foxton Library in New Zealand. Good morning, Tony. Carl is in the house. Good morning, Carl. Hello to you. Amber's just asking my opinion, support. I support anyone, whoever they are. I don't care what you are. I support everyone. You should all be yourselves. Don't never have to feel that you have to pretend to be anyone else. Be yourself. I pretended to be someone else. Oh yes, oh yes. In my I don't know if I pretended to be someone else really, or I just didn't know which way to turn when I was like thinking I was straight but I was gay, and it just, oh dear, I hate anyone to go through that. I do keep an eye out. I know a couple of people actually who will, for obvious reasons, remain nameless. A couple of people who are married and they have children, and they're much younger than me. These are people in their early 30s, and they're living a lie. They're living a lie. I was speaking to one only the other day, just a couple of days ago, and he was telling me, he says, oh, I've done the whole thing, you know, I've got married, I've got a mortgage, I've got a nice house, I've got a nice job. And I said, you're drunk tonight, aren't you? And he said, yes. I said, and you're living a lie, aren't you? He said, well, yes, but I can keep it up. And I'm like, no, you can't. He said, well, I've managed so far. Listen, there was another lad who I was talking to a couple of weeks ago who did the same thing. And he's got some lovely children. And he kept it going for years. Now, just because you might be living a lie, i.e. married, the 2 children, all the rest of it, okay, just because you're living that lie doesn't mean that in your spare time you're secretly going out and meeting other people. Yeah? I just want to point that out. You can be living the lie and living it as well as you can, where in your mind all the time something is telling you something else. And it's really hard. Really hard. I don't know how some of these lads do it. Or probably ladies as well. I'm sure there's some of you girls out there who perhaps are married to a man and yet you fancy other girls. Maybe have never done anything about it. Thinking to yourself, oh, you know, if I just stick at this long enough, it will leave my mind. It doesn't, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it doesn't. And this lad, this one's the same age as me, the one who had been married and got the children and all this, that and the other, he kept it going for years. And he started drinking. He started drinking and he would get really drunk and go back home to the missus. And then one day he was just doing something and he had a breakdown. And they took him in for some treatment, you know, talking to a, what do you call those people? Therapist, psychiatrist maybe? Not quite a psychiatrist as in gone mad. You know the other thing. I can't remember what it was. Maybe what I just said to you, consultant, something like that. And they found out what it was, that he was actually gay and he'd been hiding this for years and years. And eventually it will come out. It will come out. For me, it happened very early on. I was married for 9 months. Just 9 months. And I thought, you know, well, just do the right thing, get married, and it'll clear from your head. It doesn't. And these idiots who think you decide to be one thing and not another are just beyond me. They just don't get it. You don't choose to be anything. Like you know, you don't choose to be straight. That's how you are. You come out straight. You don't choose to be gay. So I'm a great believer in people being exactly as they should be and not trying to hide. It was a lot different for us in the 1970s and 60s. Very, very different then. Nowadays, people are a lot luckier, I think. They've got various groups. A lot of young people in the UK go to universities, and there's always groups for people who want to be this and people who want to be that, people who want to be that, and you can just go on and get on with it. I have to admit, I'm not very far left on the political spectrum, and the whole thing about going out and shouting this and this, you must accept me, that's not really me. I'm much more moderate than that. I just get on with my own thing. So when I see like marches and all that going on, and vegans going around and creating all sorts of trouble, that isn't really me. You know, I too am vegetarian, but I don't shut. I mean, I have a joke about it on this show. You know, when people say what have you had for dinner, and they say I had chicken and chips. I said, oh, you had dead animal and chips, did you? But it's all in a jovial sense, you see. Whereas some people would go around and I don't know, over to a farm and let all the chickens out somewhere. That's a bit more militant. I'm not very militant, much more moderate. But that's just me, you know, and each and every one to themselves. And who was that person talking to me? Amber. Yes, absolutely. Everyone should be exactly as they are. But yeah, it's a good thing. Hello to Carl Rex Mawson. Good morning, Carl. Welcome. Tony Carroll is in the house. 1:14 in the afternoon in New Zealand. We're exactly 12 hours ahead of them there. Look, Tina Fink says it's still cold. We're expecting snow in New York still in April. Well, it's quite cold here today. We've had some lovely weather last week. I've come to the caravan and it's cold again. But fortunately, combination of gas and electrical heat, it's lovely and cosy in this room. Lovely. I've got an electric blanket in it. Oh, it's lovely once I get in bed. Mark, my friend has just gone to New York for the WrestleMania. Yeah, that's very popular, isn't it, the WrestleMania? It's not the same as the wrestling we had in the 70s, though. Oh, no. When I've seen some of this WWF stuff on the telly, and it's just a show. No one's getting hurt. I don't think anyone's getting hurt on those things. It's not proper wrestling. Proper wrestling is when we had like Mick McMahon and Big Daddy in the 1970s. Those people got hurt. Well, they did the hurting. Who was? Oh, there was another one as well. I think he was a black guy. I can't remember, but he was also very, very famous wrestler in the 1970s. Mick McMahon. Was that the one from Peckham? Mick McMahon, I think. Big Daddy, of course. Is he still with us? Original name Shirley Crabtree. That was his original name. There were so many of them in that time. I always think that the English wrestling in the 1970s was so much better than this WWF. It's all just a show, dear. No one's getting hurt, are they? Let's see some real pain and suffering. That's what I want to see. Good morning to Heidi Oliver, who's in... I can't quite see. That's such a small flag. Is that the Welsh flag there, Heidi? Good morning to you. Hello to Mike Cullen. Morning. Heidi, Dino. What, Dino Tracy? Someone thought I would always get with Dino. I offered myself to him a couple of times and nothing happened, I'm afraid. So that was that. Ask him, he'll tell you the same. Oh, that Chris Reardon, he tried to get off with me a couple of times. Yes, I did. But he pushed me back, so that's it. The window of opportunity has gone, I'm afraid. Mark, my favourite part of your intro is the aircraft. Yes, of course, they fly straight over here. It's wonderful having these. They were doing it this afternoon, actually. It was really loud this afternoon, the aircraft going over top there. It's wonderful. Tony's still on high terror alert here in New Zealand. Yes, that was awful. The far-right people in New Zealand had that terrible thing in that mosque. You know, just awful, awful. Mike, perfect case in point. Stephanie Hurst, she knew she wanted to be who she was. I know being transgender is a different issue, but it ties in with what you're talking about. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who Stephanie Hurst is. Who's she? Is she like one of those reality people? If she's a reality star, then I'll know absolutely nothing about her. I'm afraid I'm just such an uninterested person in reality shows on the telly. They do nothing for me whatsoever. I unfortunately, my sister was a bit of a fan of Bake Off. And she had that on today, and I'm like, well, what is this? People making cakes? That's it? How can you sit there and just watch people making cakes badly? And they were making these. They were given a load of biscuits, I think, and some icing, and they had to make. There were 4 contestants, and they had to make an effigy of themselves out of these biscuits. It was just awful. It was just awful. There was a lovely, and do you know, I'll be honest with you, if I was straight, there was a black girl on there who did boxing. I thought she was really pretty. And I thought, do you know, if I was straight, I'd probably try and find who you are and chat you up. I can't remember her name now. She looked like a black version of Emily Sandé. Do you know the one I mean? Anyone see that? The Bake Off today? Black girl about 24, 25 maybe. So I thought, you're really pretty. She made this cake of herself. It was useless. Mind you, they all were. One of them, she stacked these, it might have been her actually, they stacked these biscuits up and put, I don't know, some sort of cream in between them to try and make them stick together. These biscuits were sliding all over the place. Oh, don't. SCTV, have you ever thought about writing a book about your life? No. I've no interest in writing a book or something like that. A friend of mine, Tom Edwards, he wrote his own book, which was his autobiography. But no, I've no real interest in writing a book. I remember I do this because I love doing it. I love to sit here, just turn this thing on, have a little bit of a chat with you all, talk about some news stories and stuff like that. It's not a job. I had a friend of mine, he worked on LBC and Talk Radio, and years, going back here 10, 15 years or more, and I said to him after he finished, I said, do you think I could go on LBC? He said, Chris, you probably could, but you'd have to change everything you do, and do what you're told, and work to a time schedule. And I thought, he said, within 4 weeks, you wish you would never have done it. He said, don't do it. Carry on doing what you do because you love being a DJ, as a DJ at the time. You love doing karaoke, and then you can come on and do this exactly as you want to do it, So that's just one of those things. Ross Patzel, how do you sleep in the caravan? Is it nice and comfy like at home, or do you struggle to sleep? Not in my caravan, I don't struggle to sleep, Ross, no. Because it's mine. I can struggle to sleep on holiday in hotels and places like that, but not in here, not generally in here, because this is like, it's almost like just an extension of my house in another area, and it is lovely and cosy in here. It really is. Hello to Charlotte Cross. Hello, darling. All right, my love, little Charlotte Cross there. Nice to see little Charlotte. She knows my my nephew Jimmy, who was 22 on Monday. Went out today, got him a little present. Honestly, he wanted this jumper, right? A jumper. How much do you think it was? Now, admittedly, we went into this place. I took him up. Oh, wait for this, right? So this afternoon, I decided to take my nephew out for afternoon dinner, just to celebrate his birthday yesterday. So, met round my sister's house, and we jumped in the car. First of all, we had to pop into Curry's, because I got him this little Bluetooth Bose speaker for Christmas, and it's gone wrong. And he's turned up. And he's got the speaker. I said, well, where's the charger and the wire? Oh, I left that at my mate's house. I said, well, they're going to want that as well. Well, won't they just change it? And I thought, well, we'll try. I was 99% sure it would be rejected. Anyway, so we got to Curry's. Give it to this very strange looking girl in Curry's in Lincoln. I don't know if you've seen her, Charlotte. She had about 3 inches of makeup on. She's had the lips done, and lips done like that. Very odd looking. Well, you don't know her, do you? Anyway, so we've gone in there, and I said, oh, I just bought this, but have you got the charger and cable? I thought, oh, here we go. She's a bit sharp. She was a bit sharp. Do you know what I mean? Oh, no, can't do anything without the charger and cable. Oh, right, okay. And I thought, no, just calm down. Just keep it calm. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. If I bring the card, does he just need to come back with the charger and cable? Can you check the receipts all right? Because they didn't send me any paperwork. This is the PayPal one. Yeah, the receipt's all right. I said, okay. So if he just comes back, can I give that to my nephew and he come in on his Yeah, that's okay. My nephew said, oh, do you want the box as well? And she kind of looked him up and down. I thought at this point she must have fancied him, because she said, nah, that's okay. Just come in on your own. Oh, right, okay, so that's it. So we couldn't take that back. And from there, I said, well, let's have some lunch. Oh, I'm not really hungry. I said, well, I've come out to buy you lunch. How can you not be hungry now? I've come out to buy you lunch, and now you've said you don't want it. Who's texted in here? Oh, thank you, Glenda. You're perfect the way you are. A true British gentleman. I hope so. I hope so, Glenda. So we ended up going to Pizza Hut and overcome the menu. Now, I know they do this all-you-can-eat buffet in Pizza Hut, which I quite like. And I said, well, I'm going to have the buffet. He said, oh, I'll have the same as well then. So we've gone over to the buffet. He's got 3-piece all-you-can-eat buffet, okay? About £8, something like that, which is reasonable. £8 is what you pay for pizza anyway, isn't it? So I've got my plate over there. There's about really about 4 bits of pizza and a few bits of salad stuff on mine, and he's picked up 3 bits of pizza. Okay, so we're sitting there having that. We've got our unlimited Coca-Cola or whatever it was, Pepsi. I don't know what it was. I've had my 3 bits, and I've gone back and got another 4. I think went back and got another 5 bits of pizza. He's chomping away on these 3 bits. So I'm halfway through. He's finished. I said, "Are you going to get some more?" "No, I don't want any more." I said, "What do you mean you don't? This is an all-you-can-eat buffet." "Oh, I'm a bit full up now." Oh, so I thought that's a bit of a waste of money, isn't it? We could have just got 1 pizza and shared the damn thing between us. "Oh, I don't want any more." So he didn't have any more. He had 3 pieces of pizza. £8 that blooming cost me. What a waste of time that was, I thought. Anyway, so we come out of there. Then we go to this clothes shop. I said, "You can have something for your birthday." So he said, we're looking around the shop. I've seen a shirt that I quite like in there, so I picked up this shirt. £70. I thought, on a shirt, £70. That was the one with the short sleeve. The one with the long sleeves was £85 for 1 shirt. Anyway, so I've tried this shirt on, and I'll be honest, it's a bit big. It's a bit tight round my stomach because I have put a little bit of weight on, as you know, so a bit tight around my stomach. So I put it back on there. Went and found Jimmy. Bloke's come over to me and he said, "Any good with the shirt?" I said, "Well, to be honest, it's a bit tight round the stomach. Doesn't matter. Oh, we've probably got a larger one out the back." I said, "All right, well, go and have a little look, see if you've got the large one." So he come out with another large, with an extra large thing. Extra large? I mean, me? Come on. I'm not extra large. Gone back in the changing room. Put this shirt. Jimmy's looking around for something for his birthday. Put this shirt on. And that's kind of hanging nicely. But, of course, the neck is like this. It's far too wide on the neck now, so I come back out. I said, "Thanks ever so much." It was a lovely colour. It was a yellow and red, very bright colours. Nice shirt, but I couldn't find the one to fit me, so I fortunately left that, and I felt quite pleased that I hadn't spent £70 on a shirt. And he's walking around. He said, "I'm now sitting down." I said, "Take your time. There's no rush. When I'm up here, there's no rush, right?" And I've said this to the children before. I say children, the young adults. You know, if we arrange something and for whatever reason you can't do it, no problem. Just let me know. That's fine. No problem at all. Similarly, if you want to do something at the last minute, as long as I'm not asleep, just give us a ring. We'll do it. I've no time restrictions up here whatsoever. It's a lovely state to be in, I'll tell you. Really is. So he's looking around the shop. Now he's come over. "What's the limit?" I said, "What do you mean limit?" He said, "Well, how much do you want to spend?" I said, "Well, just go and find something and don't take a piss." He said, "Well, I need to know a sort of rough figure." I said, "Well, just go and have a look. Go on, what you want." So he's come back. He said, "Would you put something towards something and I'll make up the difference?" I said, "Well, what's this then?" "A jumper." "Okay. Well, how much is that then?" £145. 145 British pounds. That's about 180 American, about 230 Australian on 1 jumper. I'm like, you can't be and I've sworn. "How is it 145 effing pounds?" I said in a loud voice, and the boy who works there is laughing now, and he's walked over. I said, "How much was that one you got on?" He said £25 from down the road. 100. I said, "Come on, Jimmy, there must be something else you want in here." "Well, no, I like this one." This is not. It looks a bit thin to me. It's not like a thick, chunky jumper that's going to keep you warm. That's got a little label on it. It must have a little label on it. So we ended up giving it, and I gave him, I won't tell you how much, X amount, but I was happy to take some money off him. I weren't going to pay the whole thing. Absolutely not. £145 for a jumper. But that's what he wanted, so he got that, and I paid a decent chunk of it, and he gave me the money for the rest of it, so that was it. So let's just go back to the pizza right now. Round about half an hour has passed now since we left Pizza Hut. So we're back in the car. He's got his little bit of a shopping, and we're going to drive back to the caravan now. I said, "Oh, can we pull over to Tesco's?" He said, "I want a cold drink." Yep, okay, we'll pull over to Tesco's. So we've come round the corner, gone into this Tesco's place. And he's looking at the sandwiches. I said, "What are you looking at those for?" "Oh, I want to get a sandwich for later." So he's picked up a sandwich and a bag of crisps and a cold drink. And I said, you know, I haven't got a tea machine in here by any chance, have you? And she said, no, but they've got one in the garage just across. Oh, fantastic. Paid for these things. Got back in the car. Is now open bag of crisps. Right? I said, you've just made a pizza. Oh, I feel a bit hungry now. I said, you could have had unlimited pizza. You had 3 pieces of pizza, and now you've bought a bag of crisps and a sandwich. I thought you're taking the piss out of me today. Although I didn't buy the crisps and the sandwich. I want to point that out. What a waste of money, honestly. So we pulled into the garage, and I seen the machine there. I said, does that do tea? No, it's only coffee and hot chocolate. Oh, I can't stand coffee. Bitter. It's horrible stuff, coffee. Bitter. Smells lovely. Tastes like crap. And hot chocolate, that's not for me either. So I can't believe I haven't got a tea machine in here. And that's not unusual, actually, to go into a petrol garage and not have tea. They've all got coffee. A lot of them haven't got tea as well, which is a bit upsetting. But there we are. So that was my day with my nephew. There we are. Nice day, though. Mine. Nice day. So you ask him to show you his £145 jumper, Charlotte, next time you see him, darling. All right? And I must say, it was lovely to meet up with him. I don't spend much time with my nephew. He works damn hard. He's got this car fixing business where he fixes scratches and dents on cars. He said, do you know there's a massive scratch on the back of your car? I said, no, there isn't, because he's done this before. And then you look, and of course there's nothing there. There was a kind of, they're not actually scratches, they're more like a branch has gone across it and made a bit of a mark. And he said, they're probably polished out. He said, you've got another one on the back of the car, down to bare metal. I said, where's it? He said, it's massive. I looked, and there's this little thing on the back there, which, yes, is down to bare metal. It's about that big. He said, well, you'll have to have that done. It'd go rusty. I said, no, I won't. I said, it's only 4 weeks to get a new car. Let them do it. He said, they'd charge you a fortune if you give it back like that. I said, no, they won't, because I won't accept the new one. I said, well, do you want to sell me the new one or not? We'll take it as it is then. Thank you very much. Got to do the deal. Got to do the deal. Hello to Coco Bungie. Hello, Coco Bungie. I'm keeping an eye on your text as well. Don't forget that, gang. If you want to text in something, that's fine. Someone's texted in hi. Okay, so hi to you as well. Don't know who you are or where you are. If you're going to send a text in, just put your name and perhaps where you are. Town and country, something like that is perfectly all right. Okay, 07551 259 675 is the text in number there, gang. Mike Cullen, Pat Roach as well. He was a famous actor and wrestler. I think I've heard of Pat Roach before, going back to the world wrestling thing, isn't it? Hello to Pete Branch, who says it's freezing 28 degrees centigrade this autumn evening in Brazil, you lucky thing. Isn't it nice to have a nice warm evening or a nice warm night? Not too hot, mind. Oh, hot nights are not fun if you haven't got air conditioning. They're just awful. No one can sleep or anything, can they? Rosemary, you're right about the wrestlers today. They go acting school to learn how to fall. Do they really? Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. It's all the show. It's all about the money and how many tickets they can sell. I think it certainly is, to be honest. And that's all it is, a show. They're not really hurting each other. We want to see some pain, don't we, Rosemary? Be honest. You want to see two blokes kick the hell out of each other, don't you? Properly. You can just have a look on YouTube. There's a lot of that going on. Hello to Alan Russell, who's just put the kettle on. I could do with a cup of tea now, actually, right at this moment. Mike, ex-Capital presenter Chris, used to be Simon Hurst. No, never heard of him, I'm afraid. There's the lovely Dominic. Hello to Dominic. So you said Mother's Day was yesterday. Here in Canada, it's in May. Yes, Dominic. And I believe in America as well. Here in the UK, Mother's Day was 2 days ago on Sunday. The 31st of May. Yeah, that's right, Dominic. My sister got some flowers from my niece, and I think from my other nephew, they took her out for dinner and she had her makeup done and all that. So nice. So have you got children, Dominique? What did they get you, my darling? Something nice? Nice box of chockies, some cakes. I like cake. Oh, I love cake. I must say, they were doing this cake on Bake Off tonight. It was marmalade. It was like a marmalade drizzle. Oh, it looked delicious. It looked. Do you like a lemon drizzle? Do you like lemon drizzle cake? Oh, cake. We love cake. Hello to Ben. Good morning, Ben. Keith George thinks he's vegan. Well, that's a good thing, Keith. You'll be able to go on all those marches and beat up butchers. That's what they do. Morning, Keith, you lovely man. Tay is in the house. Hello, Tay. Good evening, Tay. Difference between to steal and to rob. I don't know what that means, Ben. Try that one again, mate. Hey, look, Ross is shocked. £145 on a jumper. Spend £30 max. We're singing from the same hymn sheet there. I'm sure we are, Ross. Might as well go to Primark for a jumper. There was a Primark there. He wouldn't go in there. Stuck up little git. Wouldn't go in Primark. Nothing wrong with the stuff in there, dear. Pete says you sound like a character from the Catherine Tate show. What an effing liberty. When is Father's Day, Dominic wants to know. Don't know. I think that's in June sometime. I might be wrong with that, Father's Day. Not sure that. Mark loves the Pizza Hut buffet but can only have 6 pieces myself. You want to take a little box and sneak some out for later on, Mark. Get your money's worth, mate. What do you mean, what a mean uncle? You don't know how much I spent on that jumper. It wasn't the old 145, I tell you that now. Tay, no matter where in the world I've been, Pizza Hut always makes me ill, does it? I quite like their stuff. I do like a Domino's pizza, you know, the one with the barbecue sauce on it. But hideously expensive Dominique's. Domino's pizzas. I'm getting confused with Dominique there. Domino's pizzas. Yeah. They do 2 for Tuesdays in there, which is a bit more reasonable. But the normal price Domino's pizzas, they're just silly money. I mean, you can buy 1 pizza from there or buy a box of like 4 from Aldi for less money. In fact, one of the best pizzas I ever had was an Aldi pizza. I think there was 3 in a box, and there was something like £5 for 3 pizzas, and they were you only needed 1. They were absolutely delicious. Aldi pizzas. What are the odds Chris isn't wearing pants right now? I've got my pants on, thank you very much. Don't be rude now. You're just rude. You want to say naked flesh. There's certain sites for that, you know, naked flesh. March. Alan says March is Father's Day. No, it's not. Because it hasn't been yet, Alan. Father's Day hasn't been yet, I'm afraid. No, I didn't pay £144.50. No, I didn't pay £145 for his jumper. I gave him an X amount, which will remain secret between me and him. Dominique hasn't got kids, just a fur baby. We love our fur babies. I was around my sister's tonight, sitting there with her and her husband Martin, just talking about things. And Martin at the moment is restoring matchbox cars. He's got his own YouTube video channels. At the moment, he's restoring matchbox cars. I don't know if some of you had them as children. I had a whole box of them. I mean, a massive box of cars. They all get battered up and all that over the years. I haven't got them now. I gave the whole box to my son when he was a little boy. But Martin's been getting hold of these, I think, from eBay and places like that, and they really are battered up. And he restores them to brand new. I mean, if I'll ask him to borrow a couple so that I can show you, or perhaps he'll even come in here and have a little bit of a chat with us. But these cars come in battered, the paint's missing, 2 of the wheels are gone, and you can actually get the spare parts for these cars off the internet. Spare wheels and things like that, little windows that are smashed over the years, and he restores them, and you'd think they were brand new cars. The paint is all gleaming and shining. Little matchbox cars. Anyone else have those? Matchbox cars? Because when we were kids, you would buy 1 car at a time, you know, and they would come in like a box, little matchbox. You'd go in the shop, there'd be all these different cars on a wall in like a bespoke like display thing. And every few months, if you were lucky, you'd go in and your mum or dad would buy one, or you'd buy one yourself, and then you'd buy 1 car. And they were all metal. There was no plastic. All metal cars, these things were. Right? And I've been in toy shops recently, like Hamleys and what's the one they've got round here? Eddie's, not Eddie's. Eric's. There's I can't think of the name of the toy shops we have now. Toys R Us, they're gone now. Oh gosh, I can't think, but there's a chain of toy shops as well, and you can buy like 10 or 20 cars in one big packet. You see, there you go. Now, to me, that's not the same as buying one every few weeks and enjoying it. And now they buy 20 in one big box, probably all plastic. I don't know. I haven't looked at them myself, and I think you're missing something there. It's a bit like, when you watch, you go on the Netflix, and in one evening you watch an entire boxed set of a TV program, perhaps Doctor Who or something like that. And I think you miss something doing that. When you have one episode and then, well, when's the next one on? Same time next week. Oh, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that now. Well, you've got nothing to look forward to now because you've done it all. Bit like Christmas. Bit like the amount of people that it's coming up to Christmas and they then start giving out their Christmas presents. Oh, I've got this for you for Christmas. It might be, I don't know, 5th of December. Oh, there you go. Hey, unwrap it now. Then it gets to Christmas Day, you haven't got anything. You've done it all already. You've missed the point of Christmas Day, haven't you? That's when it should happen. It's like, as I say, box sets on the telly, although Netflix, kind of, some of the programmes, they do release one at a time, don't they? Star Trek Discovery is one of those. That gets released on a Monday, so on a Monday you get there. I think on a Monday. Usually we watch it on the Saturday, me and my mate together. And there's a new episode of Star Trek, and you watch it and it finishes. You can't watch another one yet. It's not out. So then, can't wait for next Saturday. Then you've got all that time to look forward to it. Whereas in a box set, bang, 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 bang. Oh, that was good. That's the end of that. Gone. I do think you missed something like that. Let's have a look. Dave Holland says, "Did you fall out of bed?" No, I've wanted to do a very late night show for a long time. This is the latest I've ever done a chat show. And for some reason I wanted to do it from the caravan as well, so that's why I'm here today. That plus the fact that this morning we tried and it didn't quite work out. Unfortunately, we had a couple of technical faults that the reason was the setup hadn't been working for some time, so the computer decided to do its updates, and I thought I might get away with it, but I didn't. There we go. Ross, 16th of June is Father's Day, so thank you very much for that, Ross. I didn't get... Why do you need to guess how much money I gave my nephew? You're so nosy, the lot of you. Good morning, Roy Brownlow. Morning, Roy. Pete Branch loves the Domino's pizza. They have a pizza called Portuguesa. It's got everything on it. Ham, cheese, eggs, olive, onions, parma plant, more. Sounds a bit too much to me, Pete. I think you can overdo pizzas with the toppings. When I was in Cyprus, we went out for pizza, and so it's got this list of toppings. And I said to this, it was right on the seafront at Limassol in Cyprus. And I said, "You haven't got pineapple, have you?" She's got an iPad out. She said, "What would you like? Toppings or salad? Onions? Yeah, onions. Okay. Have you got peppers? Yeah, peppers. Yeah. You got pineapple? Pineapple?" I said, "Yeah. Have you got pineapple? Pineapple on a pizza? Yes. Yeah, I suppose so." She typed in that as well. They thought that was really unusual to have pineapple on. You kind of got that sweet and savoury thing going on together, because pineapple is quite sweet, isn't it? And I like that. Especially on a pizza, nice pineapple. If I could have one topping only on a pizza, it would be pineapple. Yeah. And that was a lovely pizza, that was, down in Cyprus, I must say. Tay used to steal my mother's and brothers' matchbox cars. Sorry. Tay used to steal my brother's matchbox cars because my mum refused to buy me any. I was a true tomboy, couldn't stand dolls. You know what I used to do to my sister's dolls, don't you? I used to push the eyes in. Isn't that terrible? Used to push the eyes on my sister's dolls. Oh, I was a horrible brother, I really was. Hello to Lewis Bannerman. Good morning, Lewis. All right. Oh, there's Ben Parker. Thank you very much, Ben. Smiths, that's right. That's the toy shop, Smiths. Ben, you tried to ring us Monday night. I did try and get you back, but it was going to answer phone, okay? Hope you're well, Ben. Smiths. That's the toy. That's right. The toys superstores, and very good they are too. It's not bad in a Smiths. It's got a certain amount of atmosphere in there, actually, the Smiths. Hamleys is the best one for atmosphere. Fantastic atmosphere. You go in Hamleys and you feel like you are in a toy shop. Toys R Us was awful. Awful. I went in there with my mate a few Christmases ago. Of course, the place is closed now. And it was like a morgue in there. There was just no atmosphere whatsoever. There was just stacks and stacks of boxes of toys. And you felt that no one loved the toys in there. You go to Hamleys, you love the toys. Smiths is kind of halfway between Hamleys and Toys R Us. There is a certain amount of ambience in there, I must say. Hello to lovely Matt Martins. Good evening. Who's in Winnipeg in Canada. Wasn't Hamleys, Lewis? No, that's the big one in London, which we go to every year. Roy says, I didn't collect cars. I collected bras off baby dolls. He's a strange man, Roy. I don't know what he gets up to in his own private life. It's not for this programme, I don't think. Michael, Father's Day is the first, where he is in Australia, Father's Day is the 1st of September, and Mother's Day is the 12th of May. It's interesting, isn't it, that depending where you are in the world, these days are on the Mother's Day and the Father's Day and all that. They're all on different days, aren't they? Strange. Dave's looking forward to the Chris Reardon DVD box set. No one would buy it. That would very quickly go in that cheap basket of dented tins. Along with the Barry Manilow singles. Shouldn't say that. Alan Russell, my granddad saved a few of the old Oxo motors. I've got them now. There's 12 in total and they're still in a box. How lovely. You would never sell them, would you, Alan? You know, I know some of these unusual things, like little matchbox cars, the ones that have still in a box, have never been opened. They can be quite valuable, but then once you've sold them, they've gone. You know what I mean? I think people, there's just certain stuff you want to hold on to remind you of your childhood. I wish I still had a few more of my cars, but I gave them away, so there we are. Pete Branch, pineapple, mushroom, garlic and peppers, young. That's all right. Garlic bread I like as well. Oh, I do like that. I have to be very, very careful how much bread I eat, though, because I get terrible acid. I really do. Pete says they don't have pineapple on a pizza here either. Isn't that funny? Lewis loves pineapple on pizza. Okay. Wayne, pineapple on pizza is wrong. Why is that wrong? I don't know why that's wrong. Gary Owens there, who's on What? That's a new YouTube channel, isn't it? What Business? Hello, Gary. All right, welcome to the show, Gary. Wayne, pineapple is great on pizza. Look, everyone says it's great on pizza. Toys R Us were just box shifters. You're absolutely right, Ben. They were. It was just like a stock room. It was horrible. They didn't even have a proper floor. It was like going into Costco or somewhere like that. Have you ever been to a Costco? Awful places. Absolutely no atmosphere in those at all. Best atmosphere, Waitrose. Absolutely. Absolutely. Waitrose is the best atmosphere in the shop you get. Ross is going to take Emily to Hamleys one day. She wants to go to Hamleys, M&M shop and Buckingham Palace. Easily pleased. Take her to Hamleys. Yes, she'd love it in there. Don't go at Christmas, Ross. It can get really busy in there at Christmas. If you can, take her during a day during the week when the schools are on, if possible, and you'll have a good time to go around there. All right. Let's have a look. You're late for tarmacking the roads in the morning. Let's have a look. Are you talking to each other? I think you're talking to each other there, aren't you? Matt, can you keep my family and I in your prayers as my grandmother is dealing with severe dementia? Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't dealt with it before. It's proven to be devastating, and I'm afraid, yes, it is. I haven't really. We haven't had dementia really in our family. My mum, her head went a bit funny really after Dad died, but and my mum went into deep depression, which means I can only explain it. It's just like talking to a wall. You would talk to your mum like a wall, nothing coming back. It's just awful dementia and all that, and they don't know your names and all that, and eventually they don't know you. Yeah, my heart goes out to you there, my friend. Sorry to hear that, Matt. Tay used to work for Waitrose, great company and loads of memories. Yes, I'm sure they did. I loved Waitrose, but I stopped going there just because I found Aldi and it was so much more cheaper. You see, that's how it is. Anyway, coming up last night, we had a good karaoke last night, I must say, at Central Station. It wasn't madly busy. We had just the right number of singers, about 19 singers, which means everyone sung about 3 songs within the space of 3.5 hours, which is it's nice. That's nice, that is. But the journey up here, oh dear, I think I had about a half an hour diversion. I can usually come up here either coming from North London, basically on the A-way, or A1 almost all the way. A1, A1M straight up here, and that's the direct. Or sometimes I go on the M11. So it'd take me through sort of Dalston area of London, then out on the M11, and then that goes so far up and then joins the A1 like that. Not last night, come up on the A6, Kettering, and that is a long diversion. Because of course there's so many roadworks going on at the moment. There's a big roadworks going on the A1M, which is, I can't remember when that's going to finish. I think 2021, something like that. Because they're widening it, you see. Part of it's only 2 lanes, and I think they're trying to make. They do have part of it which is it's either 3 or 4. I think at one place there's 6 lanes on the A1M coming down, and then that goes to 2 lanes. So they're widening quite a long part of that. Do you know my throat is really? I don't think I can last much longer. For some reason, my throat's got really dry, and I desperately need a drink. I can't really go out of it because I'm all like tied up in here. You'd like to tie me up, wouldn't you? I can tell you'd like to tie me up. That's all right, Matt. Please, I can't give you any advice on dementia other than to say some more prayers. Very, very difficult to deal with that. Very, very difficult indeed. Okay. Ben. Now there's Ben there. Perhaps you could talk to Ben and see if he can give you any advice. I didn't know Brenda was in the early stages of dementia. Who feels like you? Do feel free to talk to each other. Perhaps you want to swap Facebook names or something and talk to each other about that. Perhaps you can help each other. I've no experience of dementia at all, other than seeing it on the telly. You see, I have the whole deep depression thing that my mum had. That was obviously brought on by Dad dying, and it kept coming back. My mother was never ill, and then Dad died, and it started soon after that. A little deep depression things, terrible thing. All these head illnesses that you get, isn't it? Alan's gone to bed. Good night, Alan. Good night, Alan. All right. So as I say, a bit of a diversion last night. Eventually, after about 2 hours drive, I thought, because I was gonna wait until I got back here to have dinner, and I thought, I can't be bothered with this anymore. I just want to go to bed when I get in. So I came across a petrol garage, and it was about 4 degrees, so it was quite cold last night. And I thought, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to get a sandwich and a bag of crisps and be done with it. Then at least when I get back here, I can go straight to bed after unloading the car. So I pulled into this garage. I can't remember. It might have been a BP one. And I thought, please don't make me queue up at a window. And I approached the doors and they opened. I thought, thank God for that. It was a Marks and Spencer's as well. So I think it was BP and Marks and Spencer's. So I went in there and got myself a sandwich and a very large bag of honey roast crisps. If you like crisps, go to Marks and Spencer's and get that bit. They only do the great big bags. Honey roast crisps. Oh, they are absolutely delicious. Great big bag I had. It's the only bag they had, Governor. You know what I mean? And I bought a cheese and onion sandwich and a bottle of squashed up orange. You know, the squeezed orange. Why is that so expensive in Marks and Spencer's? Squeezed orange. Really dear. So I bought that and I went to the girl on the till. I said, all right, love. I said, I'm on ever such a long diversion. She says, you're the second person who's come in and said that. I said, yeah. Usually I'd come up from London A1M or M11 A1. I said, it's taken me right round the houses today. A6. I said, I don't even know where I am, to be honest. I know I was on the way to Kettering. It looked, and so usually I'd go like that. Sometimes I'd go like that, right? I had a feeling I'd gone like this. And I was right out of the way, and it did put about 35 minutes onto my journey, this particular route. Right. And she said I was the second one to come in, so presumably there was more. Not only that, but there's a lot of roundabouts on that diversion as well. A lot of roundabouts. And it's the sat-nav took me round that way. The sat-nav will only take me off course if there's roadworks. And there must have been a hell of a lot of roadworks going on, or an accident or something like that, you see. Blooming nightmare it was. Anyway, so I got back. Instead of getting here at about 1:45, I got here at 2:20 But I'd already turned my heating on, so it was nice and cosy when I got in. Bought my stuff in and went to bed. So that was nice. This caravan site I'm on, it's only just reopened, so there's not many people up here at the moment. My neighbours actually next door. I didn't expect them to come up so early, but they're there at the moment, so they're next door to me there. And as I say, my sister came and Martin came on the Monday afternoon and turned me water and gas on, which was nice of them to do that. Although the gas has run out, so I've got to change that bottle over tomorrow. And that's it really. That was my day, and my day yesterday, and my day today has gone quite well. Let's have a look here. Mark did a charity walk for dementia. Good on you. Did you raise a lot of money? Oh, you did all right there. It's difficult sometimes getting people to sponsor you, really, isn't it, for these things? Although I must say some people who want to be sponsored are a little bit pushy. And I don't like that. It's like these, charity buckets. Now, I'm all for people collecting for charity. But if I say no, then don't make me feel bad about it. Go away. You have to remember, some people secretly donate things by whatever method. Is that? Oh, that's the heater just come on. Let me turn that off. It's getting a bit warm in here now. I've turned it off. Some people have got standing orders for certain charities. So rattling that back, just because someone hasn't put money in, doesn't mean they don't give to charity. Don't judge someone by not putting money in. And I've worked at many charity do's in pubs and things over the years, and someone will shake a bucket and like, oh no, it's okay, and they go on, put something. Go, no, as you said once, I can't stand that. Pushy, I don't like pushy people. Ben's just eaten an M&S honey roast ham and farmhouse cheddar cheese sandwich. Why haven't you made it yourself, Ben? Crow, you got money to burn, haven't you? I know how much they are in M&S, dear. Not like going to the Co-op or Tesco's Express are pretty good with sandwiches. I think you get a sandwich and a bag of crisps and a drink for about £2.50, which is very reasonable. The worst ones are BP. Oh God, yeah, I've seen sandwiches for $4.99. What a sandwich! $4.99 in BP. A little bit much, dear. Outrageous. Right, well, I've got a couple of little stories I thought I'd read out. I had these arranged, actually, for the show earlier on today. Don't forget you can text in. If you're trying to text, if you're sending a message and it's not getting read out, then it simply isn't coming through. Just text it through, okay? 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675 is the text in number. Okay. Did anyone see the semi-naked protest? What's going on? I haven't kept up with the news today. How's the Brexit thing going today? Is it even worse today? I mean, you couldn't make up this Brexit thing, could you? It just gets worse and worse by the blooming minute. It really does. Tay says, I prefer to give to individuals, like the person in front of you at the till, who's a few bob short and that kind of thing. Yes. Good night, Ross. Ross is on his way to bed. Good night, Ross. Look at Ben. I saved my money on the liquor, eggs and Lucozade. Lindor eggs. 2 for £1, 2 bottles of Lucozade for £2.20. Lucozade. We all used to drink that, didn't we, as kids, thinking that it was going to make you better. It's just a fizzy drink. How did that ever happen? How did we start thinking that Lucozade would cure everything that way? Or whatever was wrong here, just have a glass of Lucozade. Did anyone see the semi-naked change protesters at this Brexit voting thing yesterday? Oh, they were awful, dear. There wasn't a decent looking one among them. Horrible arses. Let me see if I can get the picture up for you. Ed Miliband, his eyes were popping out of his head, weren't they? There they are. I mean, look at that bloke on the left there. Oh, I can zoom that in. This is in, what's it in? The Daily Mail this morning, which is now trying to play a video. Oh, how and when is that? Just a minute. Let's see if I can get rid of the video. Look at this bloke here. I mean, it's... Look at this bloke here. Who would ever want to see it? It looks like Corbyn. Is it Corbyn? Did he pop up to the gallery and took his clothes off? Looks like a young version of it, and people getting their breasts out and things like that. Just to make... What were they... They're all different reasons. I think they were trying to do that yesterday at the old Houses of Commons, weren't they? Dear me, not my cup of tea at all. Now, we've got some other little stories here that I sort of saved for you yesterday. What about flies? I'm not a fan of flies. What annoying things they are. I often see, actually, I'm on a static caravan Facebook group thing, and you often see people put, oh, I've got a bit of a problem with flies, what shall I do? And the other people who've got caravans who've had similar problems tell them one of the easiest things seems to be to actually spray the vents with this Raid stuff. And you don't have to keep doing it. And you give it good spray, and then the flies, as they go, if they get in the vents somehow, they die immediately. I must say, I've got a little bit of a thing with killing flies. I have. I hate them. I absolutely hate flies. I was out in the garden at the house in Berkshire at the weekend, one of those nice sunny mornings, and a lot of flies seem to be emerging at the moment from the pupae. Is it pupae? Pupa? Something like that. Lots of flies, and they're buzzing around, little ones, big ones, different types of flies, buzzing around just above my lawn, and my mate was out there looking at the flowers. I said, look at these, watch this. I've got the psst, dead. It's quite instant, that is. And good job I noticed this. I've got a lot of lilies. I like lilies. I've got a lot of lilies in a pot. Now, they've been in this pot now. This must be the 4th or 5th year. And this whole pot, I've got 3 pots actually. 2 of them are absolutely full of lilies, and they all come up really high, and they bloom, and loads of them, and then they die and they come back the next year. And you've got to watch out for the lily beetles. They're red things, bright red lily beetles. And I thought I'd just have a little look, and I couldn't see any on there in the morning. I thought, okay, well, I'll come back this afternoon and I'll give them a spray, stop it before it starts. Went back out in the afternoon, there were loads of them. I must have been about 10 red lily beetles, several of them having sex on my plants. Disgusting. In full view of everyone else. Lily beetles having sex on my plants. Disgusting. I mean, where's that going to end? Well, it starts with lily beetles, then it moves on to flies, mouse, cats, dogs. Eventually, we'll have young couples having sex on my lilies. And I don't think the spray will stop them. Well, it certainly stopped the lily beetles. I mean, pss, 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 like that. Went back an hour later, all gone. Thank you. Goodbye, lily beetles. If you don't get them quickly, right, you go to bed, you get up in the morning, the lilies have gone, mate. They're very quick, just stalks. And then they die. No lilies. We must have lilies, dear. Must have lilies. Anyway, this woman's got a problem with flies. In yesterday's Daily Mirror, I'm on yesterday's papers. You're right with that, aren't you? A mum has expressed her disgust after an empty house next door became infested with insects. I quite like that word. Do you like that word? Insect. This woman, Karen, says the home in Liverpool had been empty for a long time, and says there are at least 100 blue bottle flies in there. The primary school teacher claims the problem is so bad, passers-by have even knocked on her door to express their concerns. Dear. Pictures from the home show dozens of flies on the window and blinds of the abandoned terraced home. Karen says she and her husband are living at the end of their nose. I don't know if you can see that. This is yesterday's Daily... Yeah. If I hold it like that, no, can't. Oh, thought you could just see that. No, you can't see it, can you? Really, properly? It's a little bit too bright, the screen. Anyway, there's a picture in the paper, and it's got just hundreds of flies all over the window. How awful! The situation got so bad, she feels like the flies are driving her out of the home she's lived in for 30 years. It's been empty for a long time, and we've had the odd fly come into our house. But in October, I was on holiday, and my daughter was here. and she rang to say that she'd seen a rat in the window, which freaked her out. Oh my God. She rang environmental health and said she would do something. I don't know if they did or didn't. I'm not sure if they put pellets down. That's what's bringing in the blue bottles. Flu months. Yes, of course, if you've got rats, they can get in places. If they die, right, obviously someone doesn't move the rat, all these flies come. Oh, the disgusting things. Oh, that flies, they land on your food, spit on it, stamp the spit in, and then start eating it. Oh, they're disgusting things, flies. 3 weeks ago, the flies were back, and I rang again after ringing the council. They said there was a fly, but the bloke, they said there was a file on flies. Oh, hello, is that the council? Yeah, I'm ringing about the flies. Oh, yes, there's a file on the flies. They said there's a file, but the bloke would ring me back in the next couple of days. Well, too late then, all the flies would have gone in her house, wouldn't they? She once again contacted Merseyside Council, but said they had no record of her being in touch. Oh, that old one. Oh, I haven't got any record. Oh, we've lost the letter. Did you send a letter? Oh, it's been lost. I'm sorry. Lying bastards. I took the day off because I didn't feel too good. People were knocking all day. What's that? They said don't know who the property belongs to, but it's worse. People are knocking all day. Awful. Oh, there's more pictures of the flies there. You just imagine that. Living next to someone's house who has got this infestation of flies all over the place. Oh. Well, it sends shivers up my back. There was a few flies in here, to be honest. What happens? Is it cold outside? If they can get in somewhere, they will do. I mean, I found 2 dead flies in here. That's all I found in here. It's not too bad, is it? Let's have a look. Dave Holland, every time they say Brexit, I keep thinking they are saying breakfast. It's breakfast. That's what we are in Australia this morning, Dave. A breakfast show. In Australia. Yes, indeed. Hello to Santiago. Buenas noches, descenda la República Argentina. Good morning to you, sir. Ben, it looks like we won't cast a kraut till May be out. Hello to lovely Joan Dunbar as well. Hello, Joan. About time you turned up to sing another song. Hope you're doing well there, my darling. Mark says he's bored of Brexit, so like the rest of us, Mark. All right, we're going to do today's birthdays. So this is Wednesday. We'll do today's birthdays and yesterday's birthdays as well. Because we weren't here yesterday. I did try and do a show in the morning, but the computer was doing all sorts of updates, so I couldn't quite get round to it. But have I been here an hour and a quarter? My God. That don't seem possible. Well, I tell you what, the time goes even quicker at night than it does during the daytime. I've got to be up reasonably early tomorrow because, as I say, I've got the blokes coming to do the underneath insulation tomorrow. They're coming round about 9:45, I think he said, so I can't really do a show in the morning. So that's why I'm here today. That and the fact we couldn't get going yesterday. So this morning, let's see, birthday on this 3rd of October, 3rd of April 2019, Fiona. Hello, Fiona. Fiona Christies. You're up, my darling. Happy birthday to you, Fiona Christies. Yes, you must be near my age. Are you 55, 54, 55, I think, Fiona? Happy birthday. Matt Taylor. Good morning, Matt. Little Matt Taylor. Happy birthday to you. Nice to see your little face on there. On a horse as well, dear. Hello to Ian Thrussell, 46 today. I thought you were older than that, Ian. Ian drives big lorries for a living. He's just been to Bali on a holiday. I think he broke his arm or something went wrong there. So happy birthday, Ian. Scott Hampshire Jones. Good morning to you. Happy birthday. Damian Dabrowski is 32 years old today. Chris Willis. Good morning, Chris. 38 years old from CMP Radio. Hello, Chris. David Gardner today is 56 years old. Jack Gilbert. Good morning, Jack. Happy birthday to you. And James Scott is 46 years old today as well. I must say, James, there's no way you'd think you were 46. You're doing very, very well for your age, dear. You don't look your age. Same as me, though, you know. I mean, no one believes I'm really 56. They don't. Honestly, they don't. Who was it? What was it the other day? There were two young lads, they were about 16, I think, in the swimming pool changing room. And they started talking to me and all that. And I'd noticed that they'd been in a lot. Every time I'm in there, these two are in there, whether I go in the morning or during the daytime. And I said, you two are coming. They're like, yeah, we want to get bigger. Because they're little, 16-year-old boys. And they're thin. They've obviously been watching, I don't know, wrestling on the telly. And they want to put in. And they're always down this gym, always in the swimming pool. And I said, you don't stay in the swimming pool very much. No, we do mainly the gym. He said, and this one of them says to me, he said, how many lengths do you do? I said, well, 60. He said, that would do me. And he said, there's no way I could do 60. I said, well, you can't just walk into the pool, not having done it ever or for a while, and expect to do 60. You've got to start with a few lengths and build it up. I said, it'd keep you young looking. He said, well, how old are you then? I said, 56. He said, are you really? I said, yeah. He said, I didn't think you were 56. He said, my dad's 50 and he looks much older than you, so I was quite pleased about that. I said, you should bring him down here then. Right, we'll do yesterday's birthdays as well. Yesterday, 38 years old yesterday, to Topsie Redfern, who does some drag. She's fantastic, lovely person. Hello, Topsie. Happy birthday to you for yesterday, for Monday. Tuesday rather. Jake, hello Jake. Jake Aspie does his own videos. 26 years old yesterday. David Alexander Pollard. Good morning, David. 65 years old yesterday. Ian Spurgeon. Good morning. Happy birthday to you, Ian. And Michelle Hess. Yesterday was 27 years old. So happy birthday to you all. I'm just wondering if I thought I'd put the happy birthday song on here. That might be it. Shall I try it and see what happens? It might be on here, it might not. I think not. There's nothing happening, is there? I'm sure I put the happy birthday song on here somewhere. No. That's clearly not happy birthday, is it? Sounds like the music from a porn film, that does. Or maybe if I can... is music? No, I haven't got it there. So I just wish you a happy birthday and I hope you have a good time either later on today or you had a good time yesterday. All right. Let's have a look there. Alex Douglas, past your bedtime, Chris. It certainly is. I'm going to have a cup of tea because I'm really dry now after chatting away for so long. So you're right, Alex. It is past my bedtime. I'm up in Lincolnshire at the moment in my caravan. I still keep meaning to come down to Carla and yours place, and I will achieve that at some point. I promise you. All right. Mark says, waiter, there's a fly in my soup. Well, don't tell everyone, dear. Ben Parker, you don't look 56, Chris, and haven't done so for years. I like it. Tay, time flies when you're having fun. Well, from one fly to another, I have had a lot of fun tonight, to be honest with you, boys and girls. But it is time to go now. I must disappear now. There's no more messages to read out, is there? Let's have a double check there. No, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us for our very first late night show. 20 past 2 in the morning now. So there we are. We won't have one tomorrow, this morning later on, as I say. I've got to wait for the blokes. Thursday, well, we might have another one tomorrow night. We'll see how things go. Might have another one tomorrow night, as we have not got one later on this morning. Thursday, I've got a new bed coming as well, so I'm waiting for that to happen on Thursday. They're going to come from Argos between 12 and 4. I've got a new bed coming for the room, but it's just smaller. The bed in there is just too big. It's so tight in the room, and it's difficult to make the things. I've got a new bed coming from Argos. It's all going on, though, dear. All going on. Have a lovely, peaceful night, and thank you very much for joining us late on this Wednesday night. Sorry, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, really, isn't it? You have a good sleep, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.